Now I know everybody's not into the same thing, but everybody should know who this person is for the most part. If you don't know who this is, I'm not mad at you because I understand that everybody's not in tune with certain music or hip hop culture. But 50 Cent, 50 Cent. Most people know who he is from his music career, or just from all his like entrepreneurship endeavors that he does nowadays. 50 Cent is a rapper. Came out with his debut album in 2003, I believe. I was about 7, turning 8 years old, and the album was called "Get Rich or Die Trying." Now, when I was younger, I knew a couple of songs by heart just because of the vibe, how catchy it was, but I really didn't pay attention to the album title. Now, the album cover was catchy. If you know what the album cover looked like, it's like the plastic of the CD covering is like a bullet going through glass. How it was like shattered. That's how the cover of the CD looked. And then the name of the album was "Get Rich or Die Trying." But it's not as I got older, especially recently, that I started thinking about it, like get rich or die trying. Now I understand 50 Cent was in the projects. I understand he was in like life or death times, and his whole mindset was, you know what, I'm already at the bottom living in the projects. I believe he lost his mom at a young age. So he's like, you know what, I'm gonna get this money because obviously you need money to survive and to get the finer things out of life that you want. But if not, I'm gonna die trying. Like I'm gonna make getting money my mission. And if I don't get the money, I'm gonna be dead anyway, so it ain't gonna matter regardless. But I started thinking, I'm like, as I get older, I'm 29, I'll be 30 at the end of the year, but I'm like, get rich or die trying. Like, now I understand more and more. And I think every man's goal in life should be, everybody doesn't have money problems, obviously, but every man's goal should be get blank or die trying. You know what I mean? Get your dream body or die trying. Get rich, get money or die trying. You know what I mean? Grow or die trying. Whatever the case may be, insert whatever you want to insert in that slot. But every man should have something bigger to look forward to and wake up to and to be purposeful about. And some people might think like, oh, why would I get rich or die trying? Like life is just so much to experience, whatever the case may be. But the way I see it is, whatever avenue you want to go into, do it. Because what are you really risking? We gotta sit here and think about this. Like, what are you really risking by going after whatever you want or die trying in the process? There really is no risk because none of us asked to be here. None of us had a say so of what goes on here. Nobody had a say so in the system before we was a part of it. Nobody made the decisions the elites made to control the world. We had no say so in all that, but we're here. We have to just fall in line and get with the program. And then we're gonna die. We're gonna die when we didn't ask to die either. We like, damn, I already gotta live. Now I gotta die. Wait to die too, and that's an unexpected kind of eerie feeling to think about. You don't never know where your time is to go, but that's more motivation to get blank or die trying because you didn't ask to be born and you're not gonna ask to die. So what does that mean? Life is serious, but it's meant to experience. Just like how God created the world and He experienced and saw all His creations, and God has experienced life through us because He lives in all of us. So He's has all these different point of views as to where He's experiencing Himself through. That's what we got to look forward to in this life. We're here to create memories, create circumstances, and then experience those things in a materialized reality in the 3D that we created internally. So, with that being said, if you didn't ask to be born and you didn't ask to die, why wouldn't you want to get blank or die trying? Like, I know my thing is getting rich or die trying because, I grew up in the projects. I'm originally from Brooklyn, New York. Grew up in the projects. See my mom work 2 to 3 jobs at a time. See her be a single parent. You know what I mean? My dad and my mom split at a young age, and I was like, I think 2 months or 2 years old, way before I could ever really recollect it. But money is a thing that I was missing in my life. I saw chasing money, how it eliminated time away from the family and the household. And then when you did get that time to come back around, you're so used to being apart and people chasing their dollar in their own way that you don't know how to come back together and feel like a family again. You know what I mean? I see how money has people stressing. You know what I mean? I see how the things people do to chase money and just not just being out of survival mode, not feeling comfortable. You know what I mean? Not really living life, just surviving, making it to the next paycheck. I've seen how that hindered my family and people around me and people in the environments that I grew up into. So that's why my mission is obviously to get wealthy for my family so that I can just create generational experiences, break generational curses. And like when I have kids, I understand, like I said, they didn't ask to be born. So why would I bring them into a circumstance that is kind of like mediocre when I have to say so and when I can control when they come out? Pause. You know what I mean? So like I said, every man's goal should be if you're fat, if you're overweight, get your body or die trying. Like, because like, what are you really losing in the process? You're gonna gain either mental clarity, you're gonna know who you are mentally better, you're gonna see physical changes over a period of time if you keep going to the gym, eating healthy, working out, and your body is gonna change. But even if your body does not change, let's say if your body does not change, which is no way in hell is not gonna change if you're eating clean, if you're getting enough sleep, you're drinking enough water, if you're going to the gym consistently, your body should change. But let's just say if it didn't. Let's say if you die trying. At least you can live with yourself, die trying. You know, some people who can't even live with that. It's some people who are going to be with a lot of regret. You know what I mean? Not for the things that they did that they're embarrassed about, but for the things that they didn't do. That's what they're going to regret the most. Damn, I should have started that opportunity. I should have started going to the gym. I should have fucking started that business that I want to start. Or I should have asked that girl out. That's what's going to hurt more than you doing shit. You remembering that you never even tried to do it. And what would you worry about? How people are going to look at you? How you're going to be perceived? Thinking they have all the answers? A lot of people don't have all the answers. A lot of people that you see famous right now, a lot of people you see making money right now, don't know it all. A lot of them start making money while they was learning in the moment. You can either have a whole bunch of knowledge right now to then start putting to work, or you can learn as you go and like kind of like show people your experience as you're going through all the levels in the process. But you not trying at all will hurt you more than failing in general. That's why I'm not scared to go after what I'm going after. A lot of people look at me like I'm crazy. I'm an entrepreneurship. I always go the road less traveled by. I know myself. I'm a risk taker, but I'll take calculated risk. But from the outside looking in, you might think like, "What? You wilding?" And I understand that. Like I know if I wasn't me, I'd probably be like, "Damn, this nigga wilding too." But the fact that I know who I am, I have trust in the higher power, God, the universe, whatever you want to call it. I know everything is done. I know that I control what I can control, and I know God going to reflect whatever moves I make. So if God see me moving in the right direction to what I say I wanted, then He going to you know what I mean, mimic my moves and basically boost me 2 more points. If I move 2 feet, He going to boost me 2 more feet. So there's no risk. It's people who go to school, people who go to college, invested hundreds of thousands of dollars, time, energy, stress, taking tests to not even get a job in the field. Or even how things are now going in the economy. They get a job in the field, but then they're getting laid off without even realizing it, with no notice. So what's not risky in this life? The only risk you take of not starting something is the risk of regret. You're definitely going to regret because you only live right now. You know what I mean? Consciousness might live forever, but our physical bodies are finite. So just go after whatever you want to go after. You know what I mean? Do the research because more than likely, whatever you want to do is not new under the sun. There's somebody who has done that before you. So do all the research, gather all the information you have, weigh the pros and cons, and get after it. You know what I mean? Get your blank or just die trying the process. Because at least you can live with knowing I tried. That's a lot further than a lot of people are willing to go for their dreams.